Good evening. This is All India Radio Kohima. I am Jajnya Mehta with the evening news. First, the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says when farmers become stronger, the nation prospers. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu emphasizes on the need for greater participation of private sector in strengthening the healthcare infrastructure. NPF says imposition of Hindi language will amount to alienation and against the interest of the people. And Rising People's Party demands clarification on the Hindi controversy. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that PM Kisan Samman Nidhi and other schemes related to agriculture are giving new strength to crores of farmers of the country. Modi said that when farmers become stronger, the nation prospers. The Prime Minister, while virtually addressing the 14th Foundation Day celebrations of Umiya Mata Temple in Junagadh on Ram Navami today, also appealed to the people to adopt natural farming for the welfare of our future generations. He said that we cannot exploit our motherland for selfish reasons. He said we know the importance of water conservation. Similarly, we should preserve and nurture our motherland through natural farming. Modi also appealed to the people to care for the children, particularly girl children, by adopting nutritional food. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu has emphasized the need for greater participation of the private sector in strengthening the healthcare infrastructure in the country. He called upon the private sector to complement the government efforts and take the medical profession and allied activities as a mission. Inaugurating the new Mahajan imaging facility in Safdarjung Development Area in New Delhi, Naidu said that making world-class health infrastructure and diagnostic accessible to people is the need of the hour. Naidu said that high-standard diagnostics will enable doctors to diagnose more accurately and make safer interventions. Naga People's Front NPF has said imposing Hindi language on the people who are unfamiliar with it will amount to alienation and will certainly not be in the interest of the nation. In a press release, NPF President Dr. Sarojini Lijitu said the people are aware that Hindi is the national language. However, without putting in any effort to make people learn Hindi by the central government and imposing on the people will amount to alienation, which may not certainly be in the interest of the nation. He said even after 40 years, the status of Hindi language remains the same in the state, and since then no serious efforts was made by the central government towards development of the language. Lijitu further added that it is not against Hindi, but it cannot agree at the moment to use Hindi as an alternative to English in Nagaland because it is impossible in its totality. The Rising People's Party (RPP) has demanded the Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister, the State BJP President and Advisor for School Education Department to give a clarification on the Hindi controversy. RPP said the statement of the Union Home Minister Amit Shah that all the 8 northeastern states have agreed to make Hindi compulsory up to class 10 is a very serious issue which the UDA coalition has to clarify. The party said that it stands for unity in diversity and that any attempt to impose Hindi in the state or country is crass chauvinism and majoritarianism at play. The party stated that the state educational policy falls under the prerogative of the state governments and any diktats by the central government on the issue is violative of the federal structure of the country and thus unacceptable. RPP further stated that it will oppose such policies tooth and nail. The government said that around 271,000 persons will be trained over 5 years under Pradhan Mantri Dakshta or Kushalta Sampann Hitgrahi PM Daksh Yojana. The scheme aims to increase the skill levels of the target youth by providing for long-term and short-term skills, followed by settlement in employment and self-employment. Government said that a stipend of 1,000 to 1,500 rupees per month per trainee will be given for trainees having 80% and above attendance in short-term and long-term training. Further trained candidates will be provided placement after assessment and certification. This news comes to you from All India Radio Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on News on Air app and YouTube channel AIR News Kohima. Christians in Nagaland today observed Palm Sunday across the state. Palm Sunday, also called Passion Sunday, symbolizes the first day of Holy Week and the Sunday before Easter, commemorating Jesus Christ's triumphal entry to Jerusalem. Various churches in the state held special prayer services marking the observance of the Palm Sunday, while some churches took to procession holding palm leaves chanting Hosanna. Chief Minister Neepiu Rio, taking to Twitter, wished everyone a blessed Palm Sunday. Rio wished that the beginning of Holy Week bring blessings of renewed hope. In Pakistan, the National Assembly's session to elect the new premier will be held tomorrow. Shehbaz Sharif, the president of Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, submitted his nomination papers for the slot of Prime Minister, while the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf nominates Shah Mahmood Qureshi as their Prime Minister candidate. The nominations come a day after Imran Khan was removed from the post of Prime Minister after losing the no-confidence vote in the 342-member Pakistan Assembly. Imran Khan became the first Pakistani Prime Minister to be removed after losing a no-confidence motion in the Assembly. The opposition got 174 votes against a majority mark of 172 in the 342-member Pakistan Assembly. India's agri-exports has crossed $50 billion for the year 2021-22, notwithstanding logistical challenges posed by COVID-19 pandemic. Agriculture and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority (APEDA) has scripted a new history by exporting agricultural and processed food products to the tune of $25.6 billion, which is 51% of the India's total agriculture exports of $50 billion. The significant rise in agri-exports is seen as a testimony of the government's commitment to enhance farmers' income through giving thrust on boosting exports of agricultural and processed food products. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia today said the administration of precaution dose to 18+ population through private vaccination centers has started across the country. All those who are more than 18 years of age and have completed 9 months after the administration of second dose will be eligible for the precaution dose. In a tweet, Mandavia said, "With Prime Minister Narendra Modi's mantra of Sabka Prayas, we will strengthen the fight against corona even stronger." Health Ministry yesterday highlighted that the precaution dose will be of the same vaccine which has been used for administration of first and second dose. It added that no fresh registration would be required for precaution dose as all due beneficiaries are already registered on CoWIN. A resident of Mumbai has tested positive for the XE variant of COVID-19. Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation said the 67-year-old patient and his wife has visited Vadodara on 11th of last month. They stayed there at a hotel where they met 2 British citizens who had come from London. The patient did not develop any other symptoms after he was tested positive for the XE variant of COVID-19. Maharashtra Health Minister Rajesh Tope has said the XE variant is not fatal. He also said that the centre has asked the state government to take necessary precautions in its fight against COVID-19. COVID cases in Nagaland continue to see a downward trend as the state registers 0 cases in the last 3 days. According to the State Health Department's daily report, there were also no new recoveries or deaths recorded today. There are currently 7 active cases in the state. And to end the news, here are the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says when farmers become stronger, the nation prospers. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu emphasizes on the need for greater participation of private sector in strengthening the healthcare infrastructure. NPF says imposition of Hindi language will amount to alienation and against the interest of the nation. And Rising People's Party demands clarification on the Hindi controversy. And that is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.